I just got back from a couple road trips. We started on Friday. We went to Michigan State and wrestled them. Started at 125 pounds. We had Brian Kale in the lineup. Sam wrestled a pretty good match there and started us off with a win. And, really overall, we won 9 of the 10 matches on Friday night. Guys wrestled really, really well. The one weight we lost a tight match at was at 141 pounds. And that was Chris Dardanes was not in the lineup. It was a last-minute deal on short notice that we just decided that he wouldn't be able to compete on Friday. We brought him along on the trip just knowing that, Sunday's match against Michigan would be a tough one, and if he was ready, we would have him wrestle. But anyways, so short notice, we brought out Josh Shoup, who wrestled 141 pounds. He lost a close 3-2 decision. Nearly had a win for us. It would have been really nice to get a shutout over a Big Ten team, which is always hard to do. But the guys wrestled, I thought, overall really, really well. And then we come back on Sunday, get ready for the Michigan match. In this match, again, we had Chris, was getting warmed up and stuff, but we just felt like timing wasn't right for him to come out and compete. So we held him out. And, we end up losing the duel overall. And some guys wrestled well and some guys didn't. Starting at 125 pounds, Brian Kale wrestled again. I thought he started a little bit flat his first couple periods. He wrestled a good third period, and I think that's the one thing, the adjustment that Sam needs to do here is we need him to start matches a little bit earlier and get off to a better start. And this is something, something he needs to change as an individual, just being more consistent in that manner. At 133 pounds, Thorne, again, who's wrestling, I think, really, really well. He gives up a takedown and near fall. Gives up a 4-point move basically right off the bat, and then battles back and really dominates. Wrestled a good match, no doubt. We thought we could get a major there, and he would have, I think, if not getting caught. But like in any situation, that happens. But he just really wrestled well afterwards, and so we're proud of his effort. 141 pounds, I think. Josh Shoup ran into a tough kid. It was a hard match for him, but he battled hard. The kid ended up having to take an injury time out and just kind of gather himself. He was pretty tired, and he finished the match strong, so that was good for him. But we give up a major at 41 without Chris being there. Then at 149 pounds, which was a tough match, Grajales ends up getting the win over Nick. And Grajales is a tough guy to compete against. Just the way that he wrestles, the hard guy to get a hold of. And, I think maybe there's opportunities for Nick to maybe get his offense going and force things a little bit earlier. He scores the last couple takedowns, but it was just too little and too late there for Nick. But again, something that hopefully we learn from. If we wrestle him again in the Big Tens or something, we can make these adjustments and hopefully get the win next time. 157 pounds. Dylan ends up getting beat. That was a big shocker as well. I know that was a tough kid he was wrestling, but we did expect to get a win there. It's not that Dylan didn't wrestle a great match, but I think a few times he went to his scramble ability first instead of going basic defense. And I think everyone knows Dylan has the ability, his scrambling and unorthodox style of wrestling is really fun to watch, and he's phenomenal. But he's always wrestled best when he starts basic and stays more structured in that sense of just keeping it simple. And then when the scramble gets forced and then he wrestles the scramble, he's always ended up on top, or usually does. But he forced a few things early. He did score the first takedown. I think he tried to put the guy away and a couple times and ends up giving up a takedown as a result and losing in overtime. So that was a hard one to lose. Now the next 5 guys after halftime, they know they got a lot on their shoulders here to come back for us to win this duel. But, I think we're in a position that we still felt these guys could take advantage of it. And if things went well and they did what they could do, we'd win the match. At 165 pounds, Zilberberg got a major on Friday, but was not able to or not ready to compete on Sunday for different reasons. I think he'll be ready to go on next week, but he wasn't ready. So we bumped Kingsley up. We had him make weight. We decided to go with Kingsley. Kingsley went up from 157 to 165 and wrestled a good match against a tough guy. Came back at the end, scored the last takedown, and wrestled a strong match, rolled the guy out. But again, lost that one. Going at 174 pounds. Storley's wrestling phenomenal, better than he ever has, I think, and since he's been here at Minnesota. He looked really good. Came out, got a major decision for us, and continued to roll. Then I went to Steinhaus. Steinhaus came out. Again, those guys understood, I think, that they had to get bonus points. And Steinhaus had a goal and effort in mind that he was going to major his guy. He ended up winning by, I believe, 7 points, so fell a little bit short, but against a tough kid. You know, he looked good. Schiller, who's been on just really on target this year, wrestled another great match. He really pounded on his guy, got a strong major, and everything then was built up for the heavyweight match like everyone was, you know, hoping and wanting. And, you know, Nelson, you know, from our perspective, there's no doubt we know this guy can beat anybody at any time. And, you know, not a lot changes, I don't think, with this guy who's a senior and already a two-time national champ. He ends up getting beat in overtime, takes a shot, and gets extended. You know, we had a game plan going into it. Kuhn isn't a real offensive guy, but he's a lot of times, I think, got a lot of the same strengths as Tony. He's a tall guy, good leverage, really good athlete, and good defense. And so he got in on a couple shots on Tony during the match. We had an opportunity. We went where we missed. You know, that's the one thing we should have capitalized on. We had to go behind on him, went behind him. We let him run out of bounds. We should have finished on him there. And he was able to get out of bounds and stay on his feet. And those are our points at the end of the second period we should have taken. So we had a couple opportunities where he got in deep. We maybe could have took advantage of. But again, you know, it went to a double overtime right out. If you didn't watch it, we had an advantage in riding time by about 5 seconds. There was short time left in the overtime period when Tony took a shot, you know, to score. It was a good single, but it got beat from that position, crunched down, and gave up a goal behind. You know, we could have went to the ride out. You know, not that that was the way you had to win it, but I think in this situation against this guy, it was an opportunity that could easily went to the ride out, just both get an escape, and we would have won that match. So a lot of things that I think he can learn from there, but from that sense, you know, with Tony, I mean, no doubt we can improve in areas like everybody on our team needs to, but I think the guy's in a real good spot. I hope, you know, next time we wrestle, I believe 100% Tony will beat the guy. I think he can beat anybody. He's proven that year in and year out. You know, he's really strong in the areas where he's strong in, and he's just a guy that believes in himself. So at the end of the week, it was disappointing. We wanted to go and, you know, have that win and come out that weekend still undefeated in the Big Ten record. But now what's done is done. We got to look forward, be positive, and you know, just get better. And this weekend we're getting ready for Iowa. We'll go down there and hopefully get a win down in Hawkeye Arena. So appreciate your time and your support, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.